Next question, Administrator, and you all can come back for clarifications.
Gautam.
Yes, Gautam.
Shiva Mayor,
Shivoham.
actually, I want to know that only that, for example, I tell you, everybody know that we are the divine soul, not the body, and we know that we come with nothing and we go with nothing. Only that, but knowing will be enlightened, or we have to realize it. We have to realize it.
You also know, no, Gautam?
Yeah,
Everybody-
I know. I'm just telling about the what my I told yesterday. My brother told that I know everything. He used to tell.
Your brother says he knows.
Yeah, he knows that we come with nothing, we go with nothing, and we are the body, we are not the soul. We are the soul.
Okay, your brother knows. So he knows. If he still knows, and full day from morning to night, if he's only doing business and making money, and one day he will die, how will he be enlightened?
But he
How
know
will
that.
he be-
पर उसको मालूम है कि हम खाली आते हैं, खाली जाते हैं. So by knowing only will be enlightened, or by realizing the truth what exactly we are.
Knowing is not enough. If you know that the chai you are drinking is poison, and you know it, and you still drink it, that means you don't know it. That means you're saying you know it, but you know this chai is poison, but you're still drinking. That means you don't realize it.
But poison चाहे तो हम कैसे हमको मालूम रहता है ना कैसे पियेंगे हम.
हाँ, correct. Exactly. वो तो सिर्फ मालूम नहीं है ना, वही फर्क है ना. And that
अच्छा,
your
हाँ.
brother doesn't know that one day he will reach the end of the game and then the life will be over. And then what? Finally, at the end of the day, what is life all about? Life is not just to live and die. Life has a purpose. What is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to be enlightened. If you don't understand the purpose of life, then fine. Then what is there to be enlightened about? Then you just live like a table, like a chair. You are here, you come and you go. How does it make a difference? No, it doesn't make any difference at all. So you have to be able to realize the purpose of life.
Thank you. I got
Okay.
the answer.
Thank you. Next,
Beautiful.
Administrator. Thank you, Gautam.
I can see the beautiful view of Kashmir.
Yeah. So we'll have a retreat. I said we'll all come here and have a retreat in the Dal Lake. We'll have one session. We'll have it here. Okay.
Thank you. I'm ready.
So, Administrator, I also saw Sarah asking for a question. Is it her time?
No, it's Navjot's now.
Okay. Navjot, it's your time, Navjot.
Shivam sir,
Shivoham.
yesterday we discussed about 3 stages in the journey of enlightenment. First was achievement, second was fulfillment, and third was enlightenment.
Correct.
So I wanted to know about the first 2 stages.
The first stage of life is achievement. Most people, like you had Ranveer. Ranveer said, I want to achieve goals. I want to buy a car. That is Ranveer's way of achievement. Somebody else may say, I want to make 1 crore rupees. That is your way of achievement. But you want that achievement because you think that achievement will give you happiness. But achievement will not give happiness. Achievement will not give you happiness because achievement will only give you momentary pleasure. Achievement will only give you momentary pleasure. That's why you have to move from achievement to contentment and fulfillment. I told Ranveer, 1 car is okay, but don't be like that Saudi billionaire wanting 100 cars, 1,000 cars. So I told him that is for you go from achievement, you take an exit and you go onto the path of contentment and fulfillment, where you are completely content and fulfilled. So these are in contentment and fulfillment, you stop at your need. You don't let your need become your greed. So are you clear, Navjot, what I'm saying? The
Yes,
third
sir,
What
I've
is your-
also realized the same thing, that anything material can make you happy, but nothing can keep you happy.
Exactly. Good. So what are you trying to get at? Because according to me, you need to get to the third peak. And the third peak is not achievement and fulfillment. The third peak is enlightenment, where you will
Yes.
find eternal bliss and everlasting peace. That is where I'm trying to help all of you go.
Sir, I asked this because currently I'm a student. So is it okay for me to achieve something first?
Of course you should. Am I against you achieving? Am I saying give up everything and you wear one jeans and one shirt and go on the street and no, I'm not. You heard me speaking like that?
Sir, am I correct if I say that to find the truth, we have to find what is false first?
Correct. And you have to live your normal life. You have to do your job. You have to achieve your success. Don't be greedy. Don't try to be greedy. That is the problem. If you have greed in your life, then you will not be able to move forward. So I'm only
So
saying, don't be greedy.
Is it the same way that? Is it the same way that out of 4 options we figure out 3 wrong answers and get to the right answer?
What are the 3 wrong answers?
Like we figure out what is false and finally we reach what is the truth.
Correct. That is right. That's the game of elimination is the right thing. But right now you're
So
talking about.
I have reached a conclusion that in the pursuit of achievement, we have to realize that nothing can make us happy.
Nothing can make you eternally happy.
Yeah, for a permanent time.
Yeah, Ranveer will buy a car. Ranveer will be happy for some time. After some time, his friends will tell him, I have bought a Mercedes Benz. Then Ranveer will say, Air, can I buy Mercedes Benz? Then after Mercedes Benz, Ranveer will say, Air, I'm Mercedes Benz, I want to buy helicopter because my friend has bought helicopter. I'm just telling you, no, Ranveer, this has happened in my life. This has happened in my life. I am one of the only people in Bangalore who bought a limousine, 6-door limousine. Today I don't have it. I gave it away. I had Mercedes, I had a Serra, I had all type of fancy cars. I gave away all the cars. I enjoyed it. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but I realized what Navjot is trying to say. Happiness does not come from a car. Happiness comes from being happy. And if you want to be happy, it is not what you have, but how you feel. You need to get to that level of feeling, that state of happiness. You need to get there. So, Navjot, is anything more to the question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Administrator, next, please.
Karan Singh.
Karan Singh.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, my question is, why God created this universe? I mean, everything is momentary, and whether it's success, name, fame, and failure, at last, in the end, it has no meaning. And why God created this universe? I mean, first He created Maya, then we have to realize the truth and transcend Maya, and then we have to take birth after birth till enlightenment. I mean, why if the universe has no meaning, why He created this universe?
So who told you this universe has no meaning? This is your conclusion. So, dear Karan, please understand why God made this universe. Only God knows. But you don't realize one thing, that you are the God who made this universe, but you don't know it. Karan Singh is made of God particles. Karan Singh is made of 30 trillion cells of God. So you and me, we are both God. But if I tell you this, you will laugh. You will say, how can I be God? How can you be God? You are the same Karan who said Atma and Karan, or you're not the same Karan?
Yeah.
You're the same guy, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
said, you used to say I'm Atma in Karan. Now that is the reality.
No, sir. No, I'm simple, only Karan, sir.
You're not that. Another Karan used to be there. He used to say I'm Atma in Karan. That's not you.
No.
I'm sorry. You remember there was one more Karan, right? He used to say
Yeah.
Atma in Karan. So the point is, this universe has been created by God because God wanted to create this universe. We have no business to ask God why. But the purpose of this universe is for us to be liberated. God has put us in this universe, and God has given us the opportunity either to live, to die, again to live, again to die, and to be eaten by mosquitoes in the Dal Lake. Because you can't help it, right? This is life. I decided to do the Zoom call in the Dal Lake, and there are mosquitoes. I can't ask God why there are mosquitoes in the Dal Lake. If you don't want to be within Dal Lake, they sit in the room. We have a choice. But God made this. That's God's decision. The purpose, you're saying there's no meaning, there's no purpose in this life. Of course there is meaning. Of course there is purpose. The meaning is to realize.
In the end, we have to merge with the divine.
That's a big purpose, right? That's a huge challenge. Otherwise, what happens, Karan? Otherwise, you will die and you will come back in a new body, and again you will die, and again you will come back in a new body, and again you will die, and the game goes on.
I am asking the same. Why all these dramas like the birth after birth? Why he created this universe?
Why? Only God knows. No, that when you today, can you ask Samsung, why have you made a tab along with phone? Can you ask Apple why you made iPhone? You can't ask Apple. Apple wanted to make iPhone, they made iPhone. You can't ask McDonald's why you make aloo tikki burger. McDonald wants to make aloo tikki burger, they will make aloo tikki burger. Who are you and me to ask them? God made the universe. God is capable of making the universe. He made the universe. We don't have to ask God why you made the universe. So any more questions?
Next, Sudeep.
Next is Sudeep Bhargava.
Shivam, sir?
Shivam, Sudeep, I didn't see you at the beginning of the call. Yes, Sudeep.
Shivam, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Shivam.
Okay. Sir, you told me a couple of days back when I was asking you a question on that Drik Drishya Vivek. So we finally reached to the point that the mind is being washed by the consciousness. That was the last thing.
Correct.
Okay. So can I say that consciousness is actually the source or the power, or you can call it as a light which is illuminating everything, including the mind, and further the Maya is also getting illuminated by the consciousness only?
Yes, in a way it is. Is there a follow-up question to that?
Okay. No, my next question was that if that is the case, so do we really have 3 stages of consciousness? Should I call it the waking stage, sleeping, the dreaming stage, and the deep sleep? Should they be called as 3 stages of consciousness, or 3 kinds of experience we have in consciousness?
In the one state of consciousness, there are 3 experiences of the waker, the dreamer, and the sleeper.
So it's an experience. It's not the 3 types of consciousness. Huh? That's what I want to know.
There's no 3 types of consciousness. There's only one consciousness.
And that is Turiyam.
That is Chaturya.
Okay, right. In which these 3 stages appear and disappear one by one.
Correct.
Okay, that's what my point was. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Administrator. Next. Thank you.
Next is Sarah.
Sarah, please come on. Welcome to Ask Care. First time I'm seeing you on Ask Care, but welcome, Sarah. Your question, please. Unmute and speak.
Hi. Okay, so my question is, what does the soul do when we are asleep? Like, what does the soul do?
When you are alive.
When we are asleep.
Okay, the soul, when you are sleeping, the soul is the power that gives you the power to breathe. If the soul was not there, you would be dead.
But when we become conscious, yes, sorry.
When you go to sleep, do you forget to breathe?
No.
Who keeps you breathing?
That would be soul, yeah.
That's the power within you. It comes at birth and it enters at birth, it leaves at death.
And what like when we become conscious, is the sleeping experience the same or what? I mean, when we are more conscious, I'm so confused about this.
No, don't be confused. And point 1, don't be confused. Point 2, you can ask whatever question to clarify. It's just you and me talking right now. Nobody else is there. In the room, it's you and me. No, you can ask any question because you need to clarify. When you get the answer, remember, many more people also get the answer. So we should patiently understand. So let's understand. See, right now, you are watching me, right? You can see me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes.
So you are awake. Your body is awake and your mind is awake. And the soul is awake. The body is awake, the mind is awake, the soul is awake. Suppose you go to sleep. If you fall asleep now, will you still see me?
No.
You can't see me because the body is asleep. And the mind makes you believe something which is false. The mind will take you for a world tour. The mind will take you to Hawaii. The mind, and that is false. It's a state of misapprehension. In this state, There's a state of apprehension. You can see me, you can hear me.
Mm. Yeah.
When the body falls asleep and the mind is awake, it's a state of misapprehension. The soul is awake. The soul is giving power to the mind to
Okay.
dream.
Mm.
Then even the mind falls asleep. In the third stage, there is no dream. And when Sarah wakes up in the morning, you will stretch your hand. You'll say, "Ah, I had such a nice deep sleep." Does it happen sometime or not? You don't dream
it
at
does.
all. Who experienced that deep sleep? It is the soul. The soul was, even though the mind went to sleep and there were no dreams, the waker, the dreamer, and the sleeper. This is what Sudeep was just asking in the previous question. In these three states of conscious, these are the three states of experiences, but the one, Sarah, the one who's you, the real you, is watching all this. You need to get to watch. Right now, you're not watching it because you have got mixed. You're lost in the body and mind. You are not able to watch the body perform its actions. You are not able to watch the mind dream. A time will come when you will watch the mind dreaming. You will watch the body. That is the soul. You need to get into that soul state of soul consciousness.
Right. Okay. And one more question. Like, is meditation the only way to enlightenment?
No. See, meditation is a way to silence the mind. The mind is like a monkey, it's jumping. So suppose I look at a point and say, now keep on contemplating on a lamp or a finger and just watch. Don't do anything. Watch. It's trying to get the mind to focus and concentrate so it doesn't jump from thought to thought. In that state of meditation, you reach that level of consciousness where you watch the mind going from thought to thought. You were not there for last 2-3 days, I'm telling you. So what you need to do, for example, I taught everybody, tell yourself right now, I am conscious. I am conscious. I am conscious, which means you're listening to me and your mind is not wandering. But if you're listening to me, but somebody else is in the room and they're playing, your mind will jump there. Who's playing there? Who's walking there? Who's entering the room? That's how the mind jumps. You have to reach that state of awareness. That is enlightenment. That state of consciousness, that state of realizing, I am not this body and mind. I am the one who is the soul, the Atma, the Ruh, the spirit, whatever name you give. Okay. And every day we meet at 8. So please try to come whenever possible and ask every possible question. This is the best place to answer because you can directly ask the question and directly get your answer. And also, many people come to listen to other people asking questions and learning from their questions also. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so
Administrator?
Here we have 8 minutes and 6 more questions. Gaurish is next.
Yes, Gaurish. Please come on, Gaurish.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Sure.
How are you?
I am very good.
Yes, sir. Like I had one. It's not kind of sir, question, sir. Like I have been to Shiva temple, sir. That near Mulkesh Palyam.
Yeah.
Comfort Shiva temple.
Yes.
Yeah, and like it's a very good temple, and it is like totally different. I really liked it. Yeah, but at the same way, so like some people have some opinion that we should pay some 150, 200 to enter the temple. Yeah, so what will you say, sir, for that?
So the instruction given to the temple is that if people are just coming to look at Lord Shiva and to fold their hands, there should be no money should be charged. If some people are coming to do puja, then you pay for the coconut, you pay for the agarbatti.
Yeah.
You should pay if there's only an activity that is required. So let me see, Gaurish, what happens in temples, since it's not a relevant question, but you're asking me, many people come thinking it's Kabin Park. They come to do time pass. So especially in this Corona times and COVID time, you don't want such people to be playing and disturbing other people who are praying.
Yes, yes, of course. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Thanks.
Surinder.
Surinder Goyal ji, namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, my question is about law of karma.
हाँ जी, बोलिए.
जैसे जैनिज्म में सर वो एक्सट्रीम ऑस्टेरिटीज करते हैं, तप करते हैं कि अगर हम लॉ ऑफ कर्मा में भी यही है कि पेन अगर हम हमें आगे जाके पेन होगा, कुछ प्रॉब्लम आएगी उसको वॉलंटरली सेल्फ पेन इन्फ्लिक्ट करते हैं, क्या वो कर्म बंधन से छूटने के में हेल्प करेगा?
I'm sorry, but I missed your question. Can you just repeat it, please?
सर जैसे जैनिज्म में है, दे आर डूइंग एक्सट्रीम तपा,
Correct,
ऑस्टेरिटीज,
correct.
तो क्या एक्सट्रीम ऑस्टेरिटी से हम माइंड को ट्रांसेंड कर सकते हैं, या जो लॉ ऑफ कर्मा है उसमें वो हमें हेल्प करता है?
I don't agree to the Jainism concept at all. If you, Surinder, agar aap the Buddhist Lord Buddha, when he was going to learn about enlightenment, उन्होंने महावीरा के कुछ बंदों से बात किया और उन्होंने तपस्या की. He was fasting. He became like a stick. Then there was a dancer, a girl who came and told him, "What have you made yourself?" Then she taught him, don't tighten the sitar in such a tight manner कि वो तार टूट जाए, and don't keep it so loose the music does not play. That's why Buddha talked of the middle path. I also believe that we should follow the middle path, including Sanatana Dharma. It talks of the middle path. I told Ranveer today in the call, I hope you were there, you can buy a car. There's no harm in us buying a good t-shirt and a good jeans pant. ये ज्यादा तपस करने से मिलेगा क्या? If you do tapasya, if you are going to the Jain hai, they don't wear chappals. The Jain munis, they wear a mask for 24 hours so that the germs don't go in their mouth. They don't eat onion, they don't eat pyaz, they don't eat A, B, C. Some of the Jain munis, they eat only sukhi sabzi, which means that jo sabzi ped se gir gaya hai, the only vegetables which are dried and fallen to the ground, they eat only that food. I don't believe that is the way to enlightenment. That is not the way to moksha. The way to moksha is yoga, and that yoga is not just karma yoga, which you told. It is karma yoga, bhakti yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga. That is my personal experience, Surinder. This is not something I have read in the Upanishads. I have read in Vivekananda, Ramana Maharishi, Adi Shankara, Viveka Chudamani, Aparoksha Anubhuti, and my personal experience of realizing the truth about life. So I would recommend to you, do not follow the Jain method.
Sir, I also feel the middle path is the best way.
So then we both are thinking the same way. So is there any more question, or have we answered the question?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Surinder. Administrator, next, please.
Rekha's question, I'm reading it out.
Yes.
Yesterday you said we cannot keep people away. We have to see the divine soul in them.
Correct.
But if those people who abuse all the time, can we keep a distance from them? But
Of course, yeah.
we realize they are also divine.
Yeah, you keep a distance from them and you try to understand that they are speaking in that manner based on the circumstances. They are not actually bad people, but they are forced to behave like that because of probably some circumstances. And you look at the divinity in them. You look at them as a soul, and you don't look at the body mind that is caught in this samsara. So it's a balance. So what is the balance I'm talking about? So you don't have to run away from people. But suppose there's a very interesting story. I hope we have the time. I don't know. There was one Swami who was teaching all his disciples enlightenment. And they were on this, they were talking about Aham Brahmasmi, or Aham Brahmasmi, or Shivoham means God is in everybody. So God is in everybody. So this man, Rekha, this is for you. So this man was walking, and one man came shouting, "Run away, run away, run away. There's a mad elephant. There's a mad elephant coming. Run away, run away." So this man said, "Nothing to worry. Elephant also is God. Nothing to worry." Everybody ran away. This man was standing. The elephant came and bashed him so badly and broke all his bones, all his hands, legs, everything was broken. Then he came to the Swami, to the saint, and he asked the saint, he said, "You told there is God in everybody. Then why elephant broke my bones? I saw God in the elephant." So that saint told him, "Of course there's God in the elephant. But God was also in that man, the Mahout, who came screaming, that he came and told, 'Run away, run away, run away.' That was God. God came and told you, run away, run away, run away, but you didn't listen to God. So God came in the form of elephant and thrashed you. So you must understand these are stories which make us realize, Rekha, that we should not let people thrash us. We should learn to protect ourselves. God is in everybody. There is no doubt about it. And I love this story about this elephant because we must learn to protect ourselves. We should not get hit by anybody. Next administrator.
Harsh.
Harsh, yes, please. Harsh.
Shivoham, sir.
Shivoham, boliye.
Sir, you always say that we are divine soul, correct?
Yes, sir.
But I believe we are 50% body and 50% soul.
Very good.
None of them has any significance alone.
Okay, agreed.
Even hardware cannot run without software.
Agreed.
Both are interdependent on each other, correct?
Agreed.
That's it.
Okay, so Harsh, you are like 7,900,000,000 people who are trying to get enlightenment, where you will then realize that hardware needs software, but body is not 50% and soul is not 50%. Every cell of the body is divine energy. Wave, please Google wave particle duality. Every particle of the human body is energy, divine energy. Therefore, I'm not going to argue with you, but I'm going to humbly submit with folded hands, dear Harsh. Please study the wave particle duality. And I'm sure as you attend these Ask Care sessions every day at 8, you will realize we are not 50% body and 50% soul. But since time is limited, I'll go on to the next question, please.
Here it's 8:31. Next question is Bridget.
How many more questions?
2 more.
Okay, we'll finish both the questions. Bridget, good evening. Welcome, and let me have your question, Bridget.
Shivoham, thank you. Show me
Shivoham.
Kashmir. It's very beautiful.
You saw the Kashmir. Now it's become dark, but I hope you saw. Let me just show you. Before, this is the lake. This is the lake.
Wow.
This is the beautiful.
That's
It's
really
become dark now.
beautiful. Wow.
See how this is the lake of Kashmir.
Wow. It's very big.
So we all should meet here and have a retreat. I don't know, Bridget, if you can come, but we should all meet here. So back to your question, please.
Yes, I would like to ask you about enlightenment and be in nature. I see you always around verdure, green trees, lake, and nature. It's a way to be enlightenment.
Okay, let me explain to you.
Yeah.
If you are not in the lake and the trees and the birds and the mountains, then you know where you are. Then you are in a Louis Vuitton shop and you're shopping Louis Vuitton. And then you're in Red Lobster eating a lobster. And then you're in Manhattan and you're trying to buy a Ferrari. Now that is the material world which makes you sink. And you cannot even blink. Before you know it, you are caught. So you try to get out of the material world and you get into the natural world and you try to experience God. God is not in the Louis Vuitton bag. God is not in a Ferrari, but God is in the leaf and God is in the butterfly and God is in the clouds and God is in this beautiful lake. That is the reason it's good to be in nature because you can experience God faster. Actually, you know what? Every buckle of the Louis Vuitton bag is also God. But nobody will understand. I need to spend at least 2 hours in this lake. When you come here, we will sit. I need at least 2 hours to explain that to you. But right now, just to tell you, being in the nature is a beautiful way to be enlightened.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last question for today.
Krishna Sarma.
Krishna Sarma, welcome. Your question, please. Krishna Sarma. Is he there?
Sir,
Mr.
are you able to hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you. Krishna Sarma, bolo.
Sir, if the consciousness state is the difference between the enlightened, unenlightened,
No, I can't hear you. You have to.
Consciousness
No.
state.
Please repeat your question loud and clear. Please repeat your question.
if the consciousness state is
Yeah.
the difference between the enlightened and non-enlightened person. The difference between enlightened and non-enlightened is the consciousness state.
Let me explain to you. I know what you're trying to ask, so I'm going to try to explain, okay? What
Yes.
is the difference between an enlightened person and a non-enlightened person in terms of consciousness? Is that the question?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So in an enlightened person, the consciousness is the dominating factor. In the enlightened
Okay.
person, there is thoughtlessness. When I am talking to you, I try my best not to let my mind wander in any other thought. I try to remain in a state of consciousness. In a non-enlightened person, there is no consciousness. The consciousness is overtaken by the mind, and there is full of thoughts. We need to reach that state of thoughtlessness. The Buddhists call it mindfulness. Actually, mindfulness means to make the mind empty. So that's the difference, my dear Krishna Sharma. The enlightened person,
Yes, sir.
the enlightened person has controlled the mind. Have you seen Lord Shiva sitting on the tiger? That is one more way of showing how the yogi has got a command on the tiger. The yogi is sitting on it's not real. It's just symbolic. That is a sign of enlightenment of Lord Shiva sitting on the tiger. Because
controlling it.
the tiger is the mind. The tiger is the mind and ego, me. So when the enlightened person sits on the tiger, he has got consciousness. He is becoming the observer. He is becoming the witness. He is watching everything.
Yes, sir.
But in an unenlightened person, he is a slave of the mind. He is a slave of the ego. Today I want car, tomorrow I want Mercedes Benz, and day after tomorrow I want helicopter. Then, this is my own story. This is not Ranveer's story. This is my story. I got a picture of all the helicopters in the world and the planes in the world. I was going to buy. I even made a helipad. On the top of my building. But now on the helipad, there's a garden, which Bridget said, that I do my Zoom call every day. I've covered the helipad with a garden. So my dear friends, every day we will talk of interesting questions. Was it a very bad call in terms of signal? Should we do the call indoors tomorrow, or you like the call on the lake? What do you suggest? Somebody please give me.
We like the call.
In the lake or indoors?
In the lake.
Lake.
Okay, so tomorrow, though there are some mosquitoes, we will again have a call in the lake. I thank you all, and I am grateful to all of you to coming to this call. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.